Two teams are locked in battle for the greatest prize in team tenpin. It's Europe against the USA. Reputations, national pride and sporting honour are on the line, as 8 of the best bowlers from either side of the Atlantic battle for the 18th edition of the Weber Cup. The magic number here at the Weber Cup is 19. It's the first team to reach that target that claims the trophy. 1 point per match, with the matches consisting of singles, doubles and a baker. A team match involving all 8 players. As for the scoring, it's been simplified. The matches are played over 10 frames, there's no extra shot in the 10th. A strike is worth 30, and of course the magical score still remains the 300 game. The opening session saw the traditional Baker match. All 8 players involved, and it was the Americans who triumphed, and they did it in style. 1 strike short of a perfect game. Next up, Kyle Troup, another big performance, this time against European captain Dominic Barrett. The flag waving was put on hold for match 3. Europe struck back via Svensson, a player who's yet to lose a singles match. The sense of relief was short-lived, as the American captain Sean Rash hit back with a 3-pin win over Martin Larsson. No matter how tight the margin, a point is a point, and America took 3 of the first 4 on offer. Match 5 saw the Europeans field one of their most experienced players, Stuart Williams, but he failed to find the winning line. Marshall Kent did and ran out a comfortable winner. Kyle Troup was looking to really hammer home the advantage for the Americans, but he faced Svensson, a man who remarkably has never lost a singles match in the Weber. He kept that record going and European hopes alive. Dominic Barrett followed that up with another captain's performance, banishing doubts about his early form in this tournament. The tournament progressed into day 2 and Barrett once again took up the challenge, picking up where he'd left off. Another point, and at last, Europe were level with the Americans. Confirmation of all the scores from day 1, and it was a session that clearly belonged to the Americans. Plenty of red down the right-hand side, and a chance for a comprehensive statement. But Svensson and Barrett saved the day for the Europeans, keeping them within touching distance of their rivals. And the good news for Team Europe came in the opening match of day 2. A win for Barrett, who's clearly rediscovered his form, all level as we prepare for a mixture of doubles and singles matches. Coming up, the first of those doubles matches, Dominic Barrett and Svensson against the American duo of PJ Tackett and Kyle Troup. Time then to join our commentary team of Cass Edwards and Nick Halling.
Doubles, an interesting format in the sense that if one of the partnership is struggling, it really hamstrings the other one. But both Barrett and Tackett have just played on this lane in singles competition, and they've both brought up their high roller from last night. Kyle Troup for the Americans, who was bowling plus 270, and Jesper Svensson, who was bowling plus 280 last night, and Barrett will want to strike just to get Svensson with an opportunity to bowl at a full rack of pins. He's not going to want him bowling at just one or two here and there.
Yes, Nick, it's called Scotch doubles, and you've noticed that Dom didn't get a strike, so Jesper has to make the spare that Dom has left.
Which he does.
And an 8 spare is worth 18.
Glad I got a game practice.
Huh?
I'm glad I got that game practice.
It's okay.
The game pretty dry where I am. I'm gonna.
Please, it was kind of an easy spare. Appreciate it.
Well, as you can hear, they're chatting away already. It's Nick Horning and I can take the rest of the afternoon off.
A rather fortuitous strike, but after Tackett's struggles last time up, he'll be happy.
Yeah, much better shot, and good for his
my
confidence.
last shot in practice at 2 pin, so I just hooked it more. Alright. After that, I can probably move one.
We're talking about the adjustments that they need to make, the Americans, as Barrett will look to try and get his first strike. That'll do it.
Good go, mate.
All right.
Very nice.
Still didn't really get that right.
Interesting. Cassie said he didn't really get that right, and he was a little bit high there, wasn't he?
Great result at the end, 10 pins. And of course now Svensson will be the one up to shoot the first ball. Having Dom Barrett strike, Svensson then takes over.
And Troup just missing.
Yeah, he's playing a much wider line. Threw it way out to the right-hand side, where most of the other guys, except Svensson, playing straighter down the lane on this oil pattern. You can see how wide that's gone. It's come back with the rotation, but it hasn't hit the headpin properly. There's the 2 and the 4.
And Tackett making the spare ball do a lot of work. Let's see if they'll talk about more adjustments.
Yeah. A little right, too.
Yeah.
Like, maybe a hair. If it was slow, it probably got there. If it was slower, it might have got there.
Yeah. I mean, that hooked in practice. That hooked in practice.
It just shows that they are not masters of this lane condition yet, the Americans. And a chance to see now what Jesper Svensson can do with a full rack of pins. He leaves a 7 standing.
Well, it was a great looking shot, wasn't it? Right in the 1-2 pocket for the left hander, leaves the ringing 7 pin. Look at the oil on that ball, the track of oil that you can see around the circumference. And that's what the ball is doing, it's picking that oil up on the way down before it breaks up to the head pin in the last 20 feet. Simple spare for Barrett.
Right. Okay. To be honest, I'm just glad I went into pocket. It was way right.
Yeah, I mean, it was good a shot.
Yeah, but it was way right.
Yeah.
We'll get some more.
So the Americans with a very, very slight advantage here. And let's see if Troup needs to make 1 or 2 little adjustments. Well, there wasn't much wrong with the pocket hit, he just didn't get the luck at the back end. Yeah, nothing wrong with the shot.
Well, he even had a few pins flying across towards that left-hand corner, towards the 7 pin, but nothing actually made contact. Just a little bit tighter down the lane, not quite so wide. Trips the 10 pin, leaves the 7 pin.
Well, he doesn't do it the easy route. A lot of spares are done with a pretty straight ball, but it's job done.
Yeah, very much a scenic route he was taking there.
You do not want me shooting straight at 7 pins. I know. And there's plenty of hooks, so I'm not worried about that.
I think he's just talking about that himself.
Yeah, little trade secrets going on there.
Watch you shoot spares. I just won't watch you shoot spares.
We're enjoying watching him shoot spares. Voyage into the unknown.
I hate when shooting spares.
Right, we are dead level here after 3. Oh, look at this. These corner pins have been glued in place this afternoon.
Isn't it funny? Every time Jesper Svensson hit the pocket yesterday, he got a strike. Today he's hitting the pocket almost similarly, although a fraction right, leaves the 7-pin yet again. So, as Dom might say, it's another fine mess you've let me in for. Hold on. Nice and straight and hard. Takes the square away for another 19 pins.
I think all these players are going to be a bit concerned that they're not getting the strikes.
Yeah, that was actually a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Just got to watch that rack as well. On your side. The rack looked worse on that last shot.
That's kind of interesting. Dom's just saying that the pins that set down in the triangle weren't quite on spot. He noticed on the left-hand side. Something to keep an eye at for Svensson to keep an eye on.
Troup won't want to leave a single pin. No, he hasn't.
Team USA with the edge in this doubles match. More to come after the break. Welcome back to the Weber Cup. It's the 9th match, the series level at this stage, and at the moment Team USA have a slight advantage over their European rivals. There's still a long way to go in this tournament. It's the first to 19, a mixture of singles and doubles throughout this session. Much has been made of the fact that the Americans are putting their faith in Marshall Kent, who plays the last 4. But before we get there, we have a doubles match on the lane. Commentary from Cass Edwards and Nick Horling.
So much for all the technical talk. Now, can he kick out these corner pins this time? Yes, he can.
Yeah, great looking shot. Carries all 10, and that means that Dom will be up to shoot the first ball next time. This is what we're used to seeing from Jesper Svensson. These pins just smashed to the back of the deck.
More.
Yeah, saw that. Right.
Unplayable last night, wasn't he? 289. Oh, and he's just wandered off his line again there, Tackett. That's shades of his singles match.
Yeah, not quite sure what happened there. Across the headpin to the left-hand side, it leaves the 3-pin standing, but he is way left on the approach and very deep inside. Certainly not a pocket hit. But, fortunate just to leave the 1.
It was closer to a Brooklyn hit. And it's cleaned up by Troup, but we're level pegging once again.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Yep, score's all level.
Mine hooked a little.
Yeah. He also sat for 4 frames.
So they were talking about what was on the TV last night.
Go a couple left and hit it hard.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what Barrett can do here, because this one is very nicely balanced indeed. We're at halfway. There is not a pin between them. 116 on the board and a maximum possible of 266 each. So who can get the strikes together now to really push on? That's not going to do it.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Dom and Jesper were working on a strike. Dom was obviously looking for the double there. Came high through the head pin. Hard and fast, and great reaction in the back end, but leaves the 3 and the 6 standing. That'll be a straightforward spare for the left-hander coming across the lane from left to right.
It's all right.
I think I've got room left. Just got to trust it from here there. I'm still not getting it right, but there's a lot of hook. There's a lot of hook on there.
Yeah.
Both players talking about the amount of back end they're getting, the amount of hook they're getting in the last 20 feet.
Well, let's see what Tackett does after missing the pocket last time up.
Well, it's a ball change for a start.
Yeah, well, and it's a ball he may stick with for the rest of this match.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man with all the revs really snapped this one up. Look how much that ball is rotating and hooking. It's light in the pocket, but it sets up a chain reaction, and the 7-pin goes at last. That's what he was looking for. Team USA take the lead again. It's 6 frames down. And the Team Europe are 12 pins adrift.
Well, this really needs to be a strike, doesn't it? Barrett's back online there. Well, having let the last one slip away, right back in the pocket.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, Don was talking about a bit of extra room on the right-hand side, and he certainly gave it on this shot. Gets way outside that down lane marker, but it comes roaring back, and it's a perfect pocket hit.
Well, let's see what Troup can do. Don't forget we see both the two-handed players going head-to-head. Once this match is finished, it was 289-267 when they met each other last night in favour of Svensson, and just look at that, ripping the rack.
Yes, 2 in a row, and keeps that 12-pin lead with a strike from Troup. Great looking shot. Ball turns left as it gets near the head pin.
Right and left.
Yeah.
I wound up on that one too. I was like, fall down.
Yeah.
Good.
So he'll be hoping that EJ Tackett can double up himself and make 3 strikes in a row on the next frame.
Well, we're in a situation where nothing less than a strike will do now for Europe.
Well, they've got to make 12 pins back somewhere, and if Team USA won't let them, it's going to be a point for the USA.
Time running out. That was frame 8, and that was the strike they needed.
Yeah, it's only the 4th strike in 8 frames. But Team Europe have rolled. It's another great-looking shot from Jesper Svensson. He's in the slightly harder urethane bowling ball, which gives it a little bit of extra length before it snaps back.
So the Europeans with a double, and it's the Americans working a double now. Guess what? He's keeping the ball that brought him a strike last time up. Oh no! He's lucky to get away with that. He's all over the place today, Tackett.
Yeah, his accuracy and his speed is not quite consistent. You can see where he's starting so left-hand side of that lane. The ball just didn't get out to the right. Lucky to leave just the 5-pin, and because he's crossed the head pitch to Brooklyn, which is a bit unusual for him. Troup cleans up for a 9 spare, which at the moment was just good enough.
Still in the lead. One strike a piece and we're done.
Well, it makes it a 1-pin game now, but
Spot over there.
Tackett
I did it.
looked shaky in his singles match, and has been a bit of a voyage of discovery for him here in doubles.
Quick.
Probably the biggest ball coming up now. It's frame 9, and it's Don Barrett working on 2 strikes in a row, and he's looking for 30 pins here, possibly to tie this game up. Certainly won't be rushed, will he?
Quite
It's-
right.
It's a very important ball.
You bowl when you're ready in this business. Worth the wait, was it? No. No, that 10 wouldn't go.
Crikey, and he threw a messenger at it as well. Dear oh dear, absolutely solid as a rock, wasn't it? Great looking pocket hit, hard and fast. Having said that, it looked a fraction light, and of course that 6-pin's just stood in the gutter, and that got bashed, but the 10-pin stood solidly. So it can only be a spare.
Yeah, luck's out for Don Barrett. Well, there's nothing Europe can do. They can be locked out of this if the Americans strike out. But the way Tackett is bowling at the moment, you just don't know what's going to come next.
Well, the thing is, Tackett's... Oh yeah, Tackett's the lead-off man. Of course he is, yeah.
Exactly.
It's so good to get that messenger, huh?
Yeah, he has to get a strike here. This is the 9th frame, the foundation frame. This really must be 10.
That's more like it. Back online. So with that ball, he's had 2 strikes, but sandwiched in that. A terrible shot, but that one probably good enough to give him the point here.
Well, when the world champion has to stand up and hit a strike, the world champion just does exactly that.
Of my whole life.
Well, it just means that Troup just has to strike to secure victory here.
One more.
Got to be a strike for the Europeans, and then hope for the best. But it's out of their hands now. Strikes relatively thin on the ground. Just the 4 through 9 frames. Not going to win too many Weber Cup points like that.
A strike for Dom here and an 8 spare for the Americans will give us a tie.
Well, there's the strike. But a 9 spare will win the point for the Americans. And the way Kyle Troup has been bowling.
Is there a chance?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Is there a chance? I would have said the way Troup is bowling, there's not much of a chance. Would you bet against him? I wouldn't.
No, the way the two-handers playing.
Nine or more. And the point will put the Americans back in front. It was never in doubt. That'll do it. By 12 pins.
Huh?
Told you we'd catch you.
Yeah, but you ain't going to beat me in singles, so.
So the Americans back in front. There were opportunities for both teams there. But in the end, it was Kyle Troup who came up big when they needed it. 4-5. The Americans back in front. When we return, we will have the two left-handers going head-to-head, and it'll be Jesper Svensson going up against Kyle Troup. Last night it was 289-267 in favour of Larsen. Will Troup get his revenge?
Huh? Told you we'd catch you. Yeah, but you ain't going to beat me in singles, so.
There are no easy matches in the Weber Cup. Dominic Barrett coming off a winning streak. Jesper Svensson with a remarkable record in this competition. But in the pressure cooker that is the Weber Cup, that counted for little, as EJ Tackett and Kyle Troup sneaked home by 8 pins. It is enough to give the Americans the overall lead. Troup back in action for the next match, but for the moment he's talking to Hannah Wilkes, alongside his victorious teammate EJ Tackett.
EJ, you finally got a point on the board for Team USA. Broken your duck there a little bit.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that. Singles match yesterday, I bowled pretty good, couple bad breaks. Jesper bowled a great game. Today, I just didn't bowl very good against Dom, and Dom bowled a great game. So Kyle really helped me out there. I didn't throw very many good shots that game, but we both threw good shots when we needed it.
It was a really tight game. There weren't many strikes for either team in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, there really wasn't. The lanes are breaking down quite a bit. They're getting a little bit tricky. A little bit of over-under. The ball's hooking a little bit more, maybe not hooking enough. So, we came out on top that time, so that's all that matters.
And Kyle, clearly enjoying yourself here at the Weber Cup again. Do you reckon you'll take this winning momentum into your next match because you're up against Jesper again?
Yeah, we're definitely going to take this momentum forward. I did tell Jesper yesterday that we were definitely going to catch him in a doubles match. I made sure to remind him of that. He didn't really like that. So should be a good singles match coming up. I've got a little chip on my shoulder this match, so he better be ready.
Thanks very much.
Kyle Troup looking to keep that momentum going as he prepares for the next match, and a point to prove against Jesper Svensson.
We're looking forward to this one in more ways than one. Two terrific bowlers with a subplot in this one as well. Jesper Svensson and Kyle Troup won a doubles competition together earlier this year in Maine. They've been trash talking away at each other. Troup jabbing the finger, as you see. And Svensson very calmly and quietly saying, "Oh, you're not beating me in singles." We see this across the world of sport, though. I mean, you'll see professional boxers that are good mates outside of the ring. They will get in a ring and go head-to-head with each other, and it's watch out. But then as soon as it's all over, back being friends again. These two have turned it off for now, but they'll be good mates again tonight. But right now, that is a rivalry, and there is, for Troup as well, the small matter of getting a bit of revenge after he lost to Svensson last night. So there's going to be a bit of edge in this match.
You can't beat a little bit of sledging between two players. Yes, they are friends. I think, as Jesper said, for the next 15 minutes, they may not speak to one another very much. There'll certainly be a lot of bowling and a lot of strikes.
Well, you say they might not speak to each other very much. They might be speaking a lot. There might be a lot of yakety-yak going on. When they met last night, well, Troup bowled a 267, which would get you a point 50% of the time, probably, at this level, but not yesterday when Jesper bowled a 289 in a near flawless performance. Just one pin left standing. We thought the 300 was on going into that 9th frame. Didn't happen. And there's defeats, and then there's just sitting back and saying, well, the other guy's on a different planet, and that's where Jesper Svensson was last night. Nothing Troup could do about it.
Well, both these guys, yes, as you can see, the good buddies. They both played 2 singles matches. Svensson's had a 278 and a 289, and Troup's had a 278 and a 267. So there's not a lot between them as such, except about 40 inches of lane, because Troup's the right-hander, Svensson's the left-hander. Let the battle commence.
Important, of course, for both of them to get off to a good start. They'll want to get off with 3 or 4 strikes to put the pressure on. An early spare could really hurt one of these two, have them chasing. USA back in front, 5-4. Now Troup, the lead-off man, gets a great reaction on the back end and starts off with a strike.
Yeah, they're playing on the burn. This is the 3rd game on this lane. It will be redressed after it, so there'll be oil has moved around and transitioned, so it may well be affecting how the ball reacts, and that's how Carl Troup reacted.
Now in doubles play, Jesper was leaving a lot of single pins up. Didn't get a lot of luck. Let's see if that's going to carry on here, and it is. Look at that.
Couldn't really see too much wrong with that, could you?
It was the same in the doubles. He was getting good pocket hits, but just leaving corner pins standing, and he's done it again.
Can't be too much reaction in the back end because he's bowling with a urethane ball, not a very soft reactive resin type ball. This is the hard spare ball coming out to shoot that 7-pin. Won't be looking for any hook at all.
Just about clung on to the edge. Did its job, but that's not what he needed, and it's in Troup's hand now to really turn the screw here early with a double.
Yeah, absolutely. You're looking. He's made first blood. He wants second blood as well. Let's see if he can double up here. The advantage with him, and already Svensson is saying to teammates, "What have I got to do to get rid of that corner pin? That 7-pin."
Great opportunity this for Troup to just grab this match by the scruff of the neck, and he's not having any trouble with the corner pins, is he? 2 for 2. No celebrating, no showboating. Back to his chair, on fire.
Yeah, it really gets the business done here with this one. Great looking shot. The 10-pin's the last one to go, but it has gone. Very much advantage to Team USA.
And the problem is, for Svensson, that corner pin wasn't just some one-off. There were at least 2, and maybe 3. Certainly 2 that he left in doubles play. And he's left one early here, so all eyes are on that 7-pin in the left-hand corner. It's gone this time.
A little bit higher on the head pin with that shot, which guaranteed the 7-pin tripping out. Just wasn't quite as wide as his previous shots. And there you see, it's a high flush shot. Carries all 10.
So Jesper just has to sit and tuck in now. Not allow the gap to grow much further than this. And just hope that Troup will leave a corner or just have a bad shot. So far though, the flamboyant American is 2 for 2, and you can make that 3 for 3.
He's looking pretty hot. There's no eye contact between these two as Troup marches off and Svensson marches on. It's just another great looking shot.
It's business. It's all business with Troup. This is a point he wants to have, not only for his team but also for himself.
And also for the other two-handed right-handers in the world. Fly the flag for the righties.
Well, whatever adjustments Jesper needed to make, he's made them.
Yeah, it's identical to the previous shot. He's tightened up the line just a little bit. He's coming just a fraction higher on the head pin, and that's making all the difference in the back end with the pin reaction going over to that left-hand side, kicking that 7-pin out.
Now, if you're Jesper Olsen, you are not, of course, thinking about what the other guy is doing. Just do your job and wait for the opportunity and hope that it comes. Long, long way to go. We're through 3 frames, but after 3, Kyle Troup has been as close to flawless as you can get. And there is the slip.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate. There was an awful lot of angle in the back end there as the ball snapped up to the pocket. That may be the reason that the 4-pin standing, the 2, 4 and the 7 didn't react properly. So out comes his hard spare ball, and he'll go straight at this one. Won't be looking for too much hook. Covers it nicely for 19 pins.
Still just slight advantage to Troup because it's up to the Swede now to come up with a strike just to basically assure parity after 4 frames. So this is the moment he's been waiting for.
Yeah, well, he's now got that strike line sorted out, so if he can throw another one here, make it 3 in a row, not only will he level the game up, but he'll be in the ascendancy, I think.
Complete silence here. Got it. Kick that 7-pin out as well. We are back dead level in this one.
The Americans pushing home the advantage in this singles match. More to come after the break. Welcome back to the Weber Cup, where Kyle Troup is the man in form for the Americans. Fresh off the back of victory in the doubles, he's now applying the pressure to Jesper Svensson in the singles. It's a busy schedule of matches in this, the second session of the Weber, but for the moment, all eyes on the fortunes of Troup and Svensson. Commentary from Cass Edwards and Nick Halling.
You see just how good they are. He's made the slightest adjustment, hitting the headpin just a fraction higher, a bit heavier, and that is causing that 7-pin to go out. So he's made the adjustment, he's now locked and loaded. And wouldn't it be great to see him go all the way?
It wouldn't be a surprise to see Kyle Troup get right back on strike. There it is. It wasn't the cleanest pocket hit we've ever heard or seen. There's a little bit of a reaction there from Kyle.
I think he was a little bit annoyed that it didn't flash the pocket, but he's hit it thin and made him spin, and we know what else happens there. They've all fallen over, so he's got his 30 pins. It's got a strike. A little bit of soft shoe shuffle there, a bit of a ballerina on the approach, but we won't mind that.
So anything Troup does, Svensson has to match. Most of these players don't really mind if they're the lead-off guy or the follow-up guy. And look at that. That's that pesky 7 in the corner.
Well, something hit it because it wobbled, but it just didn't go over, did it? Ball's finishing hard. Svensson's urethane ball does not finish. It doesn't snap as hard as the reactive bowling ball. It kind of arcs up to the pocket, but it does hit with some power. And that 4-pin just lays in the gutter there. And the 7-pin stands. It's going to go hard and straight across the lane. Right hand side to left. Well, did that go in the channel?
Me.
I think that was a gutter ball, wasn't it?
That was pretty close to catastrophic. You're talking about a couple of millimetres there. Look at this. Whoa!
Yeah, it's gone, isn't it? It may well have touched it and knocked it, but the ball was in the gutter, and that's what counts. That is a 0. 9 pins only scored.
Wow.
And that is the first single pin we've seen missed in this whole tournament. Well, it was a classic error, really. Hard and straight for a 7-pin, and he's thrown it too wide. It's gone in the channel. Fantastic advantage now for Troup to double up.
You know he'll want to twist the knife here. Oh no, he's drifted out of the pocket. Well, that was the opportunity to really close the door here. And by the way, we see this one get missed every once in a while as well.
Yeah, great big reaction in the back end there. As I say, it's the 3rd game played on this lane. He's not happy with what he's done. So either didn't get it out quite so far to the right, or his speed was down a little bit. Very makeable spare though.
Yeah, which he's done just about. But instead of just closing the door and having the key in the lock, he's left it slightly ajar here.
Well, there's a chance obviously for Svensson to come back, and but he's going to have to string 2 or 3 strikes, I believe. And Troup's going to have to make an error to let him back in. So it's all in the balance at the moment.
Yeah, but at least he's got that chance, Cass. If that had been a strike from Troup, it would have been pretty much impossible to see any way that Svensson could get back in here. But what will be interesting is to see how he regroups mentally after that gutter ball. And remember, he's had trouble with those corner pins all afternoon. There's more problems with the same pin.
This is almost unbelievable, isn't it? We'd have to see this ball hit the pocket in really super slow-mo to see what's not happening. And there you see the 4-pin. It's just pushed sideways into the gutter and doesn't bounce off the kickback to take the 7 away.
Speaking of the gutter, we will all be watching this very closely.
Well, that'll do. Pretty unfortunate. And with 3 frames to go, there's daylight between them, which is 20 pins. Yeah, you're right, it's 4 frames to go, but it's still 20 pins between them.
So it's not over yet. How Troup would love a strike just to reassert his dominance. He's been the front runner in this one. He's never been trailing. And a strike here keeps him very comfortable, like that.
Are we possibly looking at Jesper Svensson losing his first singles match in the Weber Cup? Last year or this year?
Well, I'll tell you what we are looking at, as much as anything, Cass, a plan from Don Barrett that was certainly a good plan on paper, but is backfiring badly because this is the money man. He's lost in doubles, and remember, it was his 7 pins left on at least 2 occasions that caused a lot of the problems there. But now, having lost in doubles, Svensson is in grave danger of losing in singles, and that is that. That's it.
One would suspect that that's the end of the game, yes. Missed his mark to the right-hand side. Didn't get the ball out at all.
Well, I tell you, somewhere, Sean Rash, the American captain, is watching this and breathing a sigh of relief because Jesper Svensson is proving not only that he's human, he's fallible as well.
Yeah, it's the 4-6 split. More than likely an open frame.
So the man who could do no wrong last night could do very little right here in session 2.
Yes, indeed, it does look as though Svensson's going out on this one.
Well, the Europeans need to get him back on form. He will now take an extended break as well. Well, I think they've got him up actually in doubles a little bit later on in the session in the all-Swedish partnership with Martin Larsson, so he can't just sit back and mentally refocus. He's got to just get back on it, and quickly. Troup has just made sure this one is over. This is a big point for the Americans.
It's a big point for Carl Troup, absolutely, yeah. You can see how far left he is on the approach with his feet and how far he throws it right. Fantastic reaction in the back end. Not the perfect pocket hit, but there's so much on that ball, it just mixes them up and swirls them around everywhere.
Now, when you're the only lefty playing as well, you haven't got the hiding place of an excuse to say, oh, the lane condition was an issue, because you're the only guy using that side of the lane.
It's a fair point, Nick. Yes, it is the third game played on this lane, but no one's been over on that left-hand side except Jesper Svensson.
Well, finally, almost apologetically went over then, that 7.
Yeah, it was a little bit of who shot the sheriff. 7-pin was definitely the last to go. I think he accepts the fact that this game is gone. And there you see the 4-pin bounce back out of the gutter and just kick the 7 out. He's really not been getting the pin action reaction that should have been looking for.
No, not at all, because that 7 was very close to staying upright. Well, nothing is wasted, of course, because they will be back on, all of these players. There's no hiding place when you've got a 4-man team. Everybody's got to perform. And Kyle Troup has certainly performed here, and he's doing his average no harm whatsoever here. Remember how well he bowled last night. 278 in a winning effort, 267 in that losing effort to Larsson. Well, he's going to be maintaining his average at over 270.
Yeah, very much one-upmanship over Jesper at this particular time. And no doubt he'll carry that through till later in the tournament. Change of ball there for Svensson. The game's over, so he's tried something slightly different and only taken 8 pins out.
This has been an absolute thrashing. There's no other way to describe it.
7 strikes for Troup out of 9 frames is pretty good bowling. Yeah, and Jesper's only just going to get through the 200 barrier with one frame to go.
No such problems for the always popular Kyle Troup. His last ball of what has been an authoritative performance. And he finishes with a strike. He doesn't showboat, he doesn't celebrate, he doesn't get in his opponent's face, but he knows he's made a real point, having lost to Jesper yesterday. Yeah, that's the smile of a winner. Svensson just wants to forget about this.
Yeah, I don't think Carl will let him. 277, a fabulous game.
And when it was too late to matter, back in the strike zone. But that was a thumping. There's no other way to describe it. A 53-pin victory for Kyle Troup. The man from North Carolina has gunned down his good mate Jesper Svensson. Their personal duel now stands at 1 apiece. But in the big scheme of things, the American juggernaut is back rolling again. Back-to-back victories have seen them restore their lead. They lead this one 6-4.
The Americans back to their winning ways. 2 matches without reply, which gives them a 2-point cushion in the race to 19. Worrying times for the Europeans. Svensson, previously their strongest player, has been involved in both defeats. He's not back in action until the penultimate match of the session, but another win for Troup, who is now talking to Hannah Wilkes.
Well, Kyle, that was a very dominant performance. All your fighting talk really paid off there.
Yeah, I knew I had to bring my A game against Jesper. He's one of the toughest opponents I've ever seen. I threw some really good shots that game. I got a little slow on 1 or 2 and kept telling myself, just stay aggressive. And, I was just staying in the moment, wasn't really looking at the score, just trying to throw a strike every frame and came out on top.
That's you done for this afternoon's session now. Is the part of you that wishes you were staying out on the lane?
Yeah, I really wish I was bowling a couple more games on this pattern. My game feels really, really good right now. I'm in key. My confidence is high, but my team seeing my confidence, I think that's going to filter right over to them for the next 4 matches.
A confident-sounding Troup. Does the rest of the squad share that confidence? Coming up next time, the first of 4 appearances by Marshall Kent, who teams up with Sean Rash to take on Larson and Williams, followed by a singles match involving Kent and Williams. America with a 2-point cushion, chasing that magic number 19 to reclaim the Weber Cup here at the Metrodome.